My next patron question is from Benjamin, who wanted to know what happened to Shane Acker, the director of the animated film 9. This is something I've wondered about myself, as he's an animation director who's been attached to several projects over the years that, for whatever reason, never came to fruition. Before I go into where he is now, it's important to dive into the early parts of his career. Shane Acker began his filmmaking career in visual effects, including working as an animator at Weta Digital, where he received a credit on The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. Around this time, he was working on his short film 9, which got a lot of attention. He received a Student Academy Award along with honors at the Annecy International Animated Film Festival. 9 was also nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated Short and is my personal favorite in the nominees in that year's category. When Tim Burton watched the short, he was so impressed he helped produce a feature film version released in 2009. Before the movie was released, Acker was already being asked about a potential sequel in interviews and said that there is probably more of that world he would like to explore. However, 9 was not able to make its money back in its theatrical release, although a grim PG-13 animated film making almost $50 million worldwide is nothing to sneeze at. The critical reviews were on the mixed side, as reviewers thought the visuals were impressive, but the story was nothing much to write home about. I personally like the movie a lot, as I find it highly imaginative, the ragdolls we follow have a lot of personality, and I appreciate the use of the post-apocalyptic setting and the messages about war and its effect on humanity. I do think 9 is the kind of animated movie that was always going to have a cult following rather than a big commercial success, but it's great that Tim Burton and Focus Features saw potential in it. Since the release of 9, Shane Acker has been attached as a director on a number of projects. The most high-profile was a film version of Thomas the Tank Engine. The plan was for this to be a live-action film, with Acker intending for it to be aimed at a family audience, and a far cry from what he did on 9. He even revealed what the story would be about, saying it would revolve around a preteen boy who has drifted apart from his father. The son is introduced into this world of Sodor, a place his father visited as a child but can't remember. That was all the way back in 2011, and as you can see, the movie never happened. At the time, the rights to Thomas the Tank Engine were owned by Hit Entertainment, but the company was then acquired by Mattel the following year, and it's possible the new owners were not interested in this pitch for a Thomas movie and canceled the project. Or maybe the filmmakers could not get the story to a place that satisfied them. There are all kinds of possibilities. In 2012, it was announced Acker would direct Deep, a post-apocalyptic animated movie set mostly underwater. It was going to be produced by Brown Bag Films, but this was also never made. Then, in 2013, Acker signed on to direct Beasts of Burden, an adaptation of the Dark Horse comic book. Real Effects was going to handle the animation, and Andrew Adamson was one of the producers. This one similarly never reached screens, and Evan Dorkin, the co-creator of the comic book, revealed years later that he absolutely hated the script and said he was happy it did not get made. Any movie is a miracle, and it really goes to show that even with a talented director with a vision, it's hard to get them off and running. Even though his later directorial efforts never happened, that does not mean he was not still active. He was hired by the company The Third Floor, which specializes in visual effects, particularly in the areas of pre-visualization and the planning out of shots. Acker was thus credited as a pre-visualization artist on Journey to the Mysterious Island, Total Recall, Oz the Great and Powerful, and 47 Ronin. Recently, he had an executive producer credit on the DreamWorks animation series Fright Crew. Joanna Lewis, one of the showrunners, revealed in an interview that Shane Acker played a key role in designing the visuals for the show. Meanwhile, he directed a short film titled Crusoe, a science fiction version of the famous story, which won awards at numerous festivals. So as you can see, Shane Acker is still out there contributing to various projects in some way or another. With that said, it would be wonderful to see him get the opportunity to direct a new feature film. As you can see, it's not for lack of trying. So many movies come about because of the right pieces coming to place or the financing comes through at the exact moment. There's so many complications. I find in general when there's a big gap in a director's filmography, it's because of situations like this, where they sign onto a film and then for whatever reason it just never gets past the development stage. But maybe in the future something will work out and we'll see the words directed by Shane Acker on a feature-length film again. Thanks for the question, Benjamin.